Welcome, travelers, to another episode of Hitchhiker's Guide to Ethical Non-Monogamy. I'm your host, Ike, Hito in certain other circles, and I want to welcome you to the first time I'm actually recording this for YouTube as well as for the podcast. How y'all been? Because I've been alright. Excuse the delays in between, but as I told before, I was doing a coding boot camp, got that done last month, been on the job hunt. Job hunting is a job within itself. Like, I am tired, but I'm a night owl, so it does help out. But boy, hunting for a job, like, I'm about to apply at Target. We're going to do whatever we can to get by. But yeah, the overall feeling right now is I'm stressed but blessed. Figure let me go ahead and like get on my creative side since I got a little bit more free time, especially because I live in Texas. We've been dealing with this ice storm that's been going on for the past couple days. So I do deliveries, Amazon, Grubhub. You gotta hustle, you gotta get by. But even after all that, it's like I can't drive because the roads are icy. Like, I'm not about to risk my life for a $10 delivery with no tip. So that's what I've been going on. I do have my kink stuff, my BDSM stuff, where I will be a presenter at a show that's happening in Austin, Kink Box. So that's going to be a fun time. My anchor partner is going to be my bottom for that display. Just working out overall what I'm going to do. I know it's going to involve impact, but I think I want to kind of teach the people that are in attendance like how to go about it. So I'm working that out. I do have my other podcast, Big Letter, Little Letter. We're trying to get that ball rolling. We are recording episode 8 later this week. Trying to get that more consistent out where that's a Monday rollout. Trying to get this more consistent as a Thursday rollout. And then whatever happens, happens. So I am glad that y'all are with me as I kind of go through this process. And I figured, like, hey, while I'm here, I might as well go ahead start doing a YouTube thing so I can have both the video as well as the audio so you can pick and choose so you can see that I'm a real person talking these things, facts, opinions, and whatnot. And so today we are going to be doing episode 17. Working title right now, I'm leaning on peanut butter and jealous because what we're going to be talking about is jealousy, envy, as well as don't ask, don't tell, which is a kind of dynamic under the umbrella. And I kind of want to touch on that because it's been coming up in the circles I've been in, and there's some thoughts I want to get out regarding that. But yeah, first things first, I want to go ahead give a quick recommendation. If you need something to read, I'm going to go back to this book again. I've been finishing up the Set Boundaries, Find Peace. It's such a great read because when we look at boundaries, there are unhealthy boundaries, there are healthy boundaries. No matter what aspect in life you are, be it relationships, work, family, you gotta establish certain things in order to keep your own sanity because you only have so much juice left in the tank, and if you spend so much juice on others, you end up feeling empty yourself. And so I'm trying to do better in that regards, myself, be it with my partners or with all the above. Like, even with the job hunting, even though it's stressing me out and I'm still trying to like figure out what all I need to do to get where I want to go, it's I do need to set the boundary of, look, we job hunt between these areas. Okay, when I'm going to do these delivery drivings, it's gonna be from this time to this time. Like, I can't get so lost I forget to set my own boundaries. So that will be a recommendation again. I got some other books that I am working through because I want to at least get through these books before I recommend them. Like, I finished the which pretty much is the non-monogamous Bible at this point, the Ethical Slut, which great read. I actually got through it. I loved it. I still go back to it every now and again to pick some things up. So, whenever you're trying to go into any aspect of life, whether you are a beginner or an expert, it's always good to seek resources, learn more about yourself, and just forever learn. Because the moment you stop learning is really the moment you stop living. Now, like I said, we are going to talk about essentially envy, jealousy, don't ask, don't tell. Now, English is a weird language. because we typically have multiple meanings for any given word. So, for let's see, for example, what's one word like lead, which also could be lead. Two different pronunciations, two different meanings. Lead, guiding someone. Lead, something that you definitely should not be eating, otherwise that poisoning will make you a little bit stupid, you know? And we tend to conflate things. Two different words that have similar meaning, but in this instance, they're completely different. Now, when we talk of envy, like I found this great definition in languagetool.org that envy is that painful feeling of wanting something that someone else has, be it an attribute, be it a possession, be it a person, be it a skill. That's where envy comes in. Like if I go into a club, I see this guy with this beautiful woman, I am envious of that person. I was like, oh, I would actually want to be interacting with this woman. I don't know who she is, but still, just the beauty alone, I'm like, man, I wish I could talk to her. Like that envy is a normal thing that occurs throughout. Man, this person got a job that I want. I'm envious of that person. Man, this person is just got a raise. Man, I want that raise. It's nothing. It's not a negative thing. It's just more. It's just a real human emotion. Like you want to feel, you not even want to feel, you want to have something that you want to have. On the other side of things is jealousy. And the way they have the jealousy written out there is if you're jealous, you feel threatened, protective, or fearful of losing one's position or situation to someone else. So, example, I do not care for, what's a good example? Like, all right, let's say I see a brand new car. I have a fine vehicle myself. I don't even like driving. Like, honestly, if I could teleport, people ask me, what's the power I want? Teleportation. Make me a jumper. Let me get from point A to point B. I'm not over here trying to, like, drive or do anything of that sort. Give me a vehicle that can get me from point A to point B with as little gas as possible because we see those gas prices coming up after Christmas. And I'm okay with that. But I see someone with a brand new car. Ooh, no. Would that be envy? See, I'm mixing up. That was a bad example. Let me give a better one. Look, I'm human. I slip up every now and then. Okay. So, for example, there we go. All right. I have a fear of falling. I don't have a fear of heights. I don't care about being in a high place. If I'm high and secure, I feel okay. But I have a fear of falling. So, guess what I would never do? I'll never skydive. All right. I will never aim to skydive, bungee jump, anything that involves me falling, they ain't gonna be my steez. But let's say my partner goes skydiving with someone else. If I feel a way about her skydiving with someone else, the thoughts in my head is, man, I don't want to go skydiving, but I feel like if she spends time with this person that does enjoy skydiving, I feel like my position with her will falter. That's where jealousy comes in. That's where I feel that cringe of like a bit of possessiveness coming in, where it's like I don't want to lose what I have with whoever this person is. Oh, this is my first time doing the recording thing for YouTube, so if you see my eyes dart left and right, I got my computer. I'm still working on like just focusing on the actual camera, so don't mind me. But yeah, that's kind of what it is, where it's something that you don't even care about, you have no business looking into, but one reason or another, you feel a way, you feel threatened, you feel like something that is yours is about to be lost. That's where jealousy comes in. Now, now I hate when people try to act like you can solve jealousy or you can solve envy. That's never ever going to be the case because they're natural human emotion. You can't dictate when you feel happy. If something happens and you feel happy, you feel happy. If something happens and you feel sad, you feel sad. You cannot control your emotions. What you can do, and I said this throughout multiple episodes, feel how you feel. It's human, it's natural, it's genuine. You can't control how you feel. What you can control are your actions. So, despite me feeling envious, Oh man, I want this thing. How can, instead of lashing out, being upset, crying about it, I can focus on certain positive things, like what can I do to obtain said thing. Oh, this person did X, Y, Z class. Cool. Let me go do X, Y, and Z class. Oh, this person just simply applied. Look, let me go ahead and apply. I have the skills. So but also my fallback on my stressors or when I feel away is I go to a realm of logic. I go to where, all right, what are my options here? I pretty much just hide in logic in order to work myself out of my envy or out of my jealousy. Same thing with jealousy. It's more so I'm talking myself down. Oh, this person is spending more and more time with her. What I can do logically, hey, let me go talk with whoever my partner is or whoever I'm jealous of. Let me see what I can do to quell said jealousy. Now, is the onus is not on them to do so, but it's also helpful if they kind of like help you out. So if I'm jealous of the time that I'm not getting, I can go ahead and talk with my partner. I can go ahead and talk with whoever, try to figure out, engage, what can we do together? If otherwise, if we can't do it together, what can I do myself? Oh, I could try to schedule things that we can do together, things that we like. That's how I look at it when it comes to quelling my jealousy or quelling my envy. More times than not, I don't even really feel the jealousy. Shout out to my ADHD because my mind be everywhere. So sometimes I don't even really notice or pay attention when certain things are going on around me, which has its downside. Don't let me over here throw here my ADHD as if it's a superpower, even though it is. But it's kind of like yeah, whenever I feel anything, I just like to talk it out with myself to get to the root of it. And I feel like that is the key to handling all that. You got to find what is the root of this jealousy. It's not just simply, hey, she's going over with this guy and doing X, Y, and Z. No, it's that, hey, maybe I'm just not getting enough time with my partner. Or maybe I'm feeling neglected, even though I might not be neglected. Maybe I'm just missed certain things because of what's being put in front of me. So that's why I kind of, again, I lean on the logic. Some people don't. Some people can't do that. Some people revel in their emotion. And what was that? I forget. It was like Fox News or not Fox News. Ew, ew, ew. Fox Kids or Disney would have those little infomercials in between where it's like, oh, if you're upset, stop, breathe, and count to three. Like some people need that. Some people just need to go to a friend and like talk it out with them. And hopefully it's that friend that would actually give you like good advice, not let's go fuck his car up. But yeah, sometimes maybe you just need to talk to a friend. Some people maybe they just need to go to a therapist to talk things out, try to figure things out. Some people just need to go to couples therapy together because maybe the other person doesn't even get it, don't even understand it, and you need that professional mediator to kind of walk through all that's kind of going on. Um, but yeah, that's just really when it comes down to it. Now, is envy? I feel like comparing envy and jealousy, envy is seen as like the lesser of detrimental, the lesser of what can be detrimental, because at least with envy, there is an easier track to why you're feeling that way. Jealousy, it can just come out of nowhere. You cannot see jealousy coming. That's why you'll see some people that are not jealous in nature will have a jealous moment, and you don't know when it's coming. It just hits you out the blue, and now you're stuck here sitting like Boo Boo the Fool trying to figure out like what's going on here. Why am I feeling this way? So again, feel how you feel. Your emotions are yours, and they just happen. That's just how our brains work. The overall thing you need to work on is your actions based on what you're feeling. So if you are feeling jealous, shutting down, going with the quiet, playing the quiet game, and doing the whole silent treatment thing, that's not helpful. That's just completely detrimental to what you can build with whoever. If you're feeling envious, talk it out. Try to figure out what's going on. Try to see if things can be quelled. Or if there's a situation where you're envious and it's just not for you, then it's not for you. The overall thing, the one thing that's true in life is if it's not for you, then it's not for you. Focus on the things that are for you. Oh, girl at the club. Man, I wish I could talk to her. If she's not for me, she's not for me. Like, maybe we get a chance to batter and it actually is come out that way. Maybe I just need to go up and actually ask for what I want. Talk to whoever I want to talk to. That might go ahead and pull you out, and honestly, that envy will be seen as honestly baseless because you didn't do any of the things that can get you what you want. Or even if you did the things to get what you want and you don't get it, life is not fair, and that's okay. Go find the things that are for you, and you'll be good. Just go based off of that. Feeling jealous, especially if it's someone that you claim to love and they claim to love you, you two can work it out. You two can figure these things out. Now, I don't want to make this an extra long episode. So what I'm gonna do is take a quick break, and then we're gonna tackle the other topic today. Don't ask, don't tell. All right, be right back, travelers.
Yeah.
All right, and we're back, and I can't wait for my appointment so we can get this baby looking better. Cause, whew, these locks have given up. Okay. Man, let me not give myself too much work to edit. But yes, we are back, travelers, for the second part of this lovely podcast of mine. And we're going to go ahead and talk about Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which is DADT for short. Now, the main reason why I wanted to talk about Don't Ask, Don't Tell was, again, it's been coming up in the circles that I'm in, and I'm realizing that Don't Ask, Don't Tell is getting that same treatment that critical race theory has been getting. And it's that there are bad actors that's taken something and formed it into something that is, in general, detrimental to any relationship or any partnership. Now, you may be asking, what is Don't Ask, Don't Tell? Don't Ask, Don't Tell is an agreement that those involved do not share romantic or sexual actions or activities with each other. Now, the overall reasoning behind this kind of dynamic is, honestly, it's a boundary. It's a boundary to protect someone that may be jealous or envious in nature, so that way they're not detrimental to their partner or their partner's other partnerships. The overall premise of Don't Ask, Don't Tell is that unless I ask you, I don't want you to give me random information involving your other partners. That's really what it is. Now, what the bad actors have done with this concept of non-monogamy is that they turned it around to where it's like, don't ask me about nothing I'm doing because I'm not going to tell you. That right there is toxic and unhealthy. There's no way that you can have a partnership where you are pushing out your partner without any input on their end. So, clear example, the way my relationship started with my anchor partner was that she had a bad run as a triad, where she was eventually shifted out of it, and it was shitty. Like, based on the stories I've heard, it was not a good time. How it was this grandiose thing, and then all of a sudden she's the extra wheel. Like, she's a third wheel in their dynamic. So when we started together, I'm going to be known off the rip, because of lessons I've learned, I'm non-monogamous. I prefer relationships to go in this manner. Now, on her end, she understands non-monogamy. She was cool with it, but the level of non-monogamy is what was kind of trippy. Because there's some people that look at non-monogamy and they would only go up to the route of, oh, hey, just sexual. Like, yeah, we just fucking around. We just have X, Y, and Z. Like, we just get together and hook up, or we just go play every now and again, or we go do scenes, or we do X, Y, Z, Z, all that. And for it seems like that was okay for her. Like that's something that she'll be cool with. But when I broke down, no, I'm open to other romantic relationships, like either one of us. Like I'm not in the business of limiting what my partner's gonna do or what I'm gonna do. And so when things started off, she did say like, "Hey, I don't want you to share details of what you're doing." And I'm like, man, I'm a sharer. I like talking. I like conversing. I like yo. Yeah, I say the word conversate every now and again. Hate me now. A friend of mine hates when I say conversate. But but no, like I don't mind sharing and communicating, be it what's going on with me. But that was the boundary that she established. Now, it wasn't a situation where it's like it's literally in the name. Don't ask, don't tell. Therefore, if she's going to ask, I tell. Like that's what it really comes down to it. I mean, don't ask, don't tell unless I ask, then tell is a long ass title. So don't ask, don't tell for short. It makes sense. Now, as time progressed and she got more and more comfortable that we are together, because, past relationships do bring on trauma to current relationships, which I do advise people to, like, work on it. Now, not going to say that you need to be the perfect human before you get into other dynamics, but you got to be at least in the process of healing or trying to heal. Thankfully, our time together has afforded her that luxury of time to kind of work through things. Now, does this mean I can just bust in and be like, "Oh man, I just got back from this threesome. It was fire"? No, she's not going to really care to hear that, especially because how she may be feeling in any given moment might not welcome that kind of information. But it did over time expand to where it's like, oh, at least just give me a heads up when you're about to go do X, Y, and Z, or give certain details to like, oh, let me know where you're going, oh, who you're meeting with. Like, eventually progressed when she realized that I'm not going to limit her. It became more, I guess, it seems like she's more free to like just talk about these things. Now, will she get turned on by my stories the way I get turned on by her stories? We're different people and I be nasty sometimes. But I give her the grace of that don't ask, don't tell dynamic that we had initially. Now we are a bit more open. On her end, she understands, oh yeah, just go ahead and tell me. I love to hear this stuff. And that works. That doesn't mean I have to force that on her. She asks for limitations. I'm going to respect that boundary of hers. And that's kind of how that kind of like our don't ask, don't tell dynamic was kind of progressed. Me, relationship anarchist. So it also kind of like it kind of helped her understand like the dynamics I aim for, because when she realized that I'm not all the way on the polyamorous train where it's like, oh, gotta catch them all like Pokemon. No, it's like I like to establish these connections and let them progress naturally. And I share with other people that I interact with my dealings with her. We like they'll ask like, oh, how's she doing? I'm like, oh yeah, she's doing good. She's doing X, Y, and Z. Of course, I don't give nothing like extra personal because I gotta respect my lady's privacy. But just the generic things, I have no problem sharing it at all. And I feel like when it comes to just other people in general who have this don't ask, don't tell dynamic, it's just purely a boundary in order to, help quell jealousy. Like, again, jealousy is feeling threatened, protective, or fearful of losing one's position or situation to someone else. Of course she's going to be scared if I'm over here giving all these fun stories like, oh man, he might leave me. Like, that's the whole point of don't ask, don't tell. It's kind of like bracing oneself, giving space so that way that threat is minimalized. The threat will still be there. Like, don't think anyone that wants to don't ask, don't tell is out here thinking, oh, everything's all rosy, peachy dory. They still have worries and stress, but it's kind of like ignorance is bliss. That's the boundary that at least works for them. And there's a healthy way to go about it. The toxic way is if I went to her and was like, oh, I'm gonna be doing me, I don't want you asking me nothing because I ain't gonna tell you nothing. What do you think it's gonna do to her mental? Like, she has no idea the status or standings of what's going on. Now, if I am of the ilk that I don't want to share everything, We gotta discuss and figure out what it is that I can share so she feels comfortable. Because that's all it really comes to, is that communication, that I am I am with her. Now, I am not hers because I am no one's possession, just like she's not my possession. Which I think before I got to E&M, that was one of the first things I kind of learned myself, is that no one's my possession. Like, I can't own a person, and in turn, a person cannot own me. And when I guess that's the reason why I generally am not jealous, because if a person's doing them, I don't own them, because I got comfortable with the idea that she could break up with me tomorrow because it's a Thursday, and she is in her right to do so. Will I want closure? Will I want an explanation? Would I want to fight for what we have? Of course, because I am human and I love this woman. But I have to respect her autonomy because she is her own person. Who am I to say, nope, you're still with me, you ain't going nowhere? That's foolhardy. And that means that, like, she is a thing to me. She is not her own individual. And once you get that idea done, once you get that idea through your head, that's when you kind of like have to make sure you're doing your communication. I need her to know that I love her, that I will be here for her. There are times where I need to do things for myself, but overall, we'll do things for you as well. And so that's why I would never go the toxic route where I'm like, don't ask me nothing, because that makes no sense, because I am with her. And if I'm going to be with somebody, I need to make sure that they feel safe and secure, or else why am I in the relationship to begin with? So that's my overall like outlook when it comes to don't ask, don't tell. Now, sadly, again, bad actors. They took it. It's just like how you got these people out here using the word, oh, the relationship is open. Like, I have a friend. Well, I have an associate. I feel like we'll be friends. I haven't met in person. We're in group chats. But this person was. Sorry, I'm gonna steal your story, but you know, there ain't nothing. You know, there's no explicit details. But she kind of was posting on social about her interactions with her Uber driver, and the Uber driver was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, my homeboy, he's non-monogamous. He's in an open relationship." Meanwhile, this so-called homeboy in the open relationship lady does not know that they're in an open relationship. Like, like, come on, like, bruh, what's open about that? It's open for him, but closed for her. Like, come on, my guy. But apparently, that's what he thinks being open was, where it's like, oh, no, that was just cheating. Like, the partner doesn't know. Like, that's not don't ask, don't tell. That is, I ain't telling you, and I'm gonna go ahead and cheat. Like, that's what that was. But because of these bad actors, oh yeah, no, it's don't ask, don't tell. I won't tell her nothing. Like, that makes no sense, because she has to. It's not the onus on the person that's doing the things to enforce don't ask, don't tell. Because how are you gonna feel jealous if you're the one going to do the things? It's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go to this play party and not tell her. And how can she ask if I'm not telling her nothing? Like, that's just overall silly. But people out here like that. Like, they really don't understand the concepts because they don't want to learn. They don't want to read. They don't want to like check anything. They just hear the fun parts and they're just like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Cause how are you in an open relationship with the other person not even knowing it's open? Like, that just makes no sense at all. But apparently, the guy that's in the open relationship, he believes that. The homeboy that was doing the Uber, he believes that. And that's that toxic stuff that spreads around where they actually think, oh, this is what it means to be in an open relationship. I go fuck around and my partner doesn't know about it. No, that's cheating. That's just cheating. Point blank, period. So if anyone comes up to you and they're like, oh yeah, don't ask me because I'm not telling, break up with them, because they don't have your well-being at heart. Because how they're going to have you stressed? You don't know what's going on. You don't know their status. You don't know their procedures. Like, even when me and my anchor partner first got together, we made a list. We talked about things. Like, one of the scariest things to talk about is safe sex. Because we're all adults here. Sex without a condom is amazing. It's a great time. But there are risks involved, be it on the health side with STIs or on the side where you might become a parent unintentionally. But when we have that talk, I wasn't gonna go ahead and give the fairy tale of, oh yeah, we're gonna use condoms all the time. No, there might be someone that you're feeling, someone that you connect with, that you might just go ahead and get caught in the spur of the moment. So what I discussed and what we agreed on is, make sure you know your own status. Make sure you know their status. Make sure you know of, like, whether they're on birth control or anything to that effect. Like, always make these plans, because when you're non-monogamous, it is possible that you can get someone pregnant even with a condom. So it's like, you got to make sure you have your plans and things discussed. Like, right now, it's already understood. Most likely, our dynamic will change if I was to get someone else pregnant. Now, would it be that would things end? I don't know. For me, if she got pregnant by someone else, I'm still gonna love her. I'm still gonna be with her. Like, I'm not tripping on that. On my end, she may feel different. She's a totally different person. She does not have to hold my same sentiment. So it's just one of those things where communication. I will talk about communication all the time. If anything, I think communication is my next episode. So it's just one of those things that you got to make sure that you communicate and work through these things, because envy, jealousy, they can be very detrimental to your relationship if they are not handled. Don't ask, don't tell. It's just simply a boundary. That's all it is. It's just a boundary to help you work through things and making sure that you keep your mental in one piece, because more times than not, people go the don't ask, don't tell route because they really love this person, but the fear of losing them is what's holding them back. And that's why they use don't ask, don't tell as a way to, like, stick with them. And that's all I gotta say for this episode. Like, excuse me, all my delays in trying to get these things done, but I'm happy that y'all are rocking with me. All I gotta say to end this off is, you gotta remember, when it comes to just jealousy and envy, one of the biggest things that I've seen when jealousy and envy is involved is, like, time spent. And when it comes to time spent, sometimes you feel like you are not getting enough time with someone and they're spending more time with someone else, be it family, friends, or other partners. And just, again, take a step back, think, do I actually have the majority of my partner's time? Like, how much time do I have with them? Because in some cases, that jealousy is unfound, because it's possible that your primary, your anchor, or your partner, whoever, spends majority of their time with you, but you don't see that because you're upset that they're spending time with someone else. Like, you could see them 4 days out of the week, but because they spend 1 or 2 days with someone else, you're thinking, man, I want more time. So you gotta make sure you're looking at that. Or the classic complain about all the dates your partner goes on. Meanwhile, you're sitting at home, you're not trying to make any dates, you're not trying to go to no meet and greets, you're not trying to go to no munches, but you're still envious or jealous that your partner is on date number 4 for the month. Meanwhile, you're sitting at home trying to figure out, man, when is this person going to get back home so that way I can hang out with him? See what I mean? But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the episode on that. You can find me at Hitchhiker's Guide to E&M on Instagram, or Hitchhiker's Guide to E&M on YouTube. So I gotta make sure I push that out. Also, Hitchhiking to E&M on the Twitters. And yeah, you can also find me Hedonistic Dom on IG also. Big Letter, Little Letter podcast with my host Jam. And I'll be out in these streets. I'm gonna try to be more consistent, like I said about 4 times now. But I got this new app, Notion. Hey, Notion, y'all hear this? Sponsor your boy, because I am using the hell out of the app. Alright, travelers, just make sure you look both ways before you cross these E&M streets, and y'all be safe. Peace.